What are some tips that you can give to people that are looking to build credit or repair their credit?
Yeah. The more you know, the better you can play the game. I like to use credit like in the form of chess, basically. Like if you know how to move your pieces on the board and how they move, you can better play the game and you can be more likely to win. Everybody's heard the phrase cash is king. Well, I like to think credit as queen. And in a game of chess, the queen can make a lot more moves than the king can. The queen, however, if it dies, you can always get another one with the pawns. The king dies and you lose the game. Mm-hmm. So the moral of the story is, go ahead and protect your cash at all times. And the queen, which is your credit, you can use that to do things that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to. With anything, in this case credit, you want to know how it works. Your FICO score, for instance, a lot of people don't even know what that is. So you have what's called a credit report, and then you have what's called a credit score. Your credit report is what has all of your information. The most common one is the FICO 8. That's the one that they use for mortgages, for cars, for everything. That is made up of 5 different parts. The biggest part is payment history, which is 35%. The second biggest part, utilization. Then there's age of the cards, which is 15%. There's 10%, which is inquiries. And then there's 10%, which is credit mix.
Mommy, this kid's from Providence and he's on TV.
Godzilla is so fire.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be no.
Yeah, so the first one was Learn, Drop the L and Earn. That one was like basically like about entrepreneurship and like business. So like that one, I really wanted to teach people to learn, drop the L or the losses, whatever might be holding you back. Mm-hmm. And then, that leaves the word earn, which is to make money, obviously.
Clever.
Thank you. Most of my books are like that. My second one was Eye of the Beholder. That one's more of like economics, and it's specifically about the economics of the Dominican Republic. My parents are from the Dominican Republic, and I always was curious about like the island, and the island is known as the island of Hispaniola. But the Dominican Republic is one of the most richest one of the richest countries in the Caribbean, and it's right next to Haiti, which unfortunately is one of the poorest countries in the Caribbean. And I always wondered, like, why is that there's such...
Yeah, they're right there.
Yeah, it's right there, like, is it that there's not the same resources? Is it that, the colonialism that existed on both sides was very different? So I did a lot of research, and I actually started it when I was in my University of Rhode Island, and I actually got an award for it. So I was like, might as well publish it, And long story short, I ended up finding out that Haiti obviously was owned by the French. They were actually the first country to earn its own freedom. So there was the first nation that was like free from colonialism. Wow! They had to fight for it, but it was really interesting to find that out.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't, but it's something that a lot of people should at least if they start asking questions, you start learning things, and that's what I started doing. There's very little research on it. Like the Haiti is like they like to call it like cursed, unfortunately. And it's because they've gotten earthquakes, they've gotten tsunami, like they've gotten crazy stuff, and like it's usually on that side of the island. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Like they have trouble growing things. Obviously the earthquakes have been detrimental to their prosperity coming back from things. So, that was something that was near and dear to my heart that I wrote about. And then I wrote about credit. So the next book is I Give You Credit, a do-it-yourself guide to credit repair. So, I always figured
Definitely, I want to pick your brain about that.
Yeah, so that one's called I Give You Credit. And it has a double meaning, basically, where like it's like giving somebody credit, for like something that they might have done, but also like when you're earning credit, that's where you become the most prosperous using other people's money. So
Oh, interesting. I want to dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, we'll
that's-
definitely
that's
do that.
really cool.
And then lastly is the most recent one is what are my options? And that's an introduction to options trading specifically and investing.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Trading and investing. Yeah. We up.
Yeah, we've been
We've
recording.
been recording. All
This
right.
is great. That was great.
Welcome back.
Yep, another
Everything
episode.
podcast.
E&A,
Yo,
baby.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
We
you guys
got
having me.
a wonderful guest with us, Mr. Ten.
Yep.
Great content creator, amazing mind, wrote books, very well known in the Providence area. We love him. We love him. Actually, I met you. You were doing security for Flawless.
Yeah.
That's when I met you.
Yeah.
I always thought he was super fly, man. He came in with his, you have these bodyguards and all this, man. Is that a business that you run?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Nightlife Security is one of the businesses that I had. I did recently just close it down, just for reasons that, insurance way too high, liabilities way too high, and I just had a newborn baby boy. So
Oh,
Congrats,
congrats,
brother.
bro.
thank you, appreciate that. So gotta shift my priorities. It was great while it lasted. I had a lot of fun, shot a lot of cool things. Learned a lot of cool things that, will protect me in everyday life, protect my family, of course. But I figured it was time to switch paces. My business partner that was working with me is still doing it. I wish him the best. But it was my time to cut out.
Gotcha. What are you doing now? What are you doing these days?
So I do a lot of things still to this day. So people are always wondering, how do I do all these things? And it's really time management. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to do anything that I do. So to kind of let you know some of the things that I do, my main brand or my persona is Mr. Then, the Millennial Business and Finance Coach. So it's my personal brand. And what I do and my mission is to really help others achieve what they want in life. And in doing so, I'm going to accomplish everything I want in life. So I've literally made it my job to learn everything there is to know about money and finances and business and, how to basically level up. So I help people with taxes. I help people with credit. I help people with personal finances. I help people who, once they've got that all together, start their own business if they want to, and so on and so forth. And also now I also do insurance as well. So once these people, for example, get to the point where they can buy a house or car that they really wanted, then I help them insure it as well.
What company are you with? Who do you insure with?
So the company that I use is Allstate. So,
Okay.
Specifically Allstate exclusive. And, I have a lot of fun putting people in good hands, pun intended.
Yeah. How long you been with Allstate now?
I started doing insurance back in July of 2024. So I'm still
Okay.
fresh to it, but I know my things. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do that is because it's a part of finances that a lot of people don't know about and a lot of people don't discuss. So I want to see more people like you and me understand what a deductible is. Understand, if you had a catastrophic loss, this is what would be paid out. And things of that nature, because, they don't teach insurance in school.
That's true. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ignorance when it comes to money and protecting your money, protecting your assets, protecting your family.
absolutely.
A lot of ignorance out there.
Absolutely. What made you get into the financial?
I really started a while back when I was in college. I was always kind of curious. I actually started off in engineering, believe it or not, as a major, and I got to Calc 341 or something like that, and I was just like, yeah, no, this is my max. I can do good. I can get math done, but when it gets to that level, it's I failed it 3 times, and at that point, I was just like, you know what, I need to find something else, and I switched to economics, applied economics, because I had all the math credits that I needed. And long story short, that went amazing. Passed those classes with flying colors, and I got interested in finances. Specifically, I was in my room. I had taken a self-educated course on taxes, and I'm sitting there doing my taxes. My roommate walks in, and he's like, "You know how to do your taxes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, don't you?" And he's like, "No, I don't, but I'll pay you $50 if you want to do mine." And I was like, yeah. So I did it. It took me 5 minutes, and it was the quickest $50 I've ever learned in my life. So, when you hear that ka-ching sound in your head?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. So it's funny, but I went that same day. I created a website on GoDaddy. I got myself a phone number from Google Voice, which I use to this day, which is 401-267-THEN. So I used my last name in it.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
That's actually your last name?
That's my last name.
Wow,
believe it or
that's
not.
incredible.
Okay.
Yeah, so my last name really is Then, and then a little bit I'll get behind how that came to be.
Okay.
So I went ahead and I put that website on every computer in the library, and it just blew up. Wow. It blew up, and I did get in trouble for it. Long story short, but it ended up putting me on the path to where I am today.
It's a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so I'm pretty good with marketing. I
Yeah.
don't want to toot my own horn, but
That's awesome. I love your content too, man.
yeah, thank you.
I love your
appreciate
content.
that.
I'm always
So-
watching it.
So the Then thing, one of my teachers told me, you have a really marketable last name, you should use it. And that it really is my last name.
Wow.
It's from a specific spot in the Dominican Republic called San Francisco de Macorís.
Okay.
And supposedly there's a few origin stories. This one guy told me it's like this Asian origin. I don't have any Asian in my DNA test that I checked, so I don't really think that one has too much legitimacy. Although there are, a lot of Chinese in the Dominican Republic.
I
don't
didn't
think
know
one's
that.
it.
I didn't know that at all.
There are Chinese all over the world.
And they speak the language. too.
Believe it or not, they are. The only place I didn't see a Chinese person was in Cuba when I went. But believe it or not, in Cuba, there is still a Chinese barrio because there used to be Chinese people there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Some way, somehow.
Yeah.
exactly. So they used to be there. They just left, after they realized that there was nothing else to do there.
Right.
The other origin story is probably that it has German roots. So there's a lot of, after the World War, a lot of Jewish people migrated to different areas, and Dominican Republic is actually one of them. They have their own Jewish communities and things of that nature. So
I didn't even know that. Wow.
yeah.
That's incredible. What are some marketing strategies that you could give to the audience?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's one of those things that if it's catchy, people are gonna like it. So like when I was deciding like what to name my books, for instance, I didn't think that my first book, Learn, Drop the L and Earn, would sell over 100 copies in the first 2 weeks, and it didn't. But why? Because it had a name that people were like, oh, that sounds like something I might, want to pick up. And then they read the back and it interested them. So that's just one piece. Another thing is like when you're marketing, it really depends on what type of marketing you're doing, but what they call, your copy or like whatever you're going ahead and writing is very important. So like when you're deciding how to catch somebody's interest, you want to go ahead and sometimes maybe leave like a hook to reel them in, so that's how they use those terminologies. And I know it sounds like
Catchphrases and-
fish,
Yeah.
it sounds like fishing, but those catchphrases, those things, like when you go and you're watching people on YouTube and they start off with the same thing, like, hey there, or they mention a particular thing each time, people start to pick up on that. I had the same profile picture on my LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and all of that for like 5 years. Why did I do that? Because people would go there and they'd see it, and then they'd go somewhere else and they'd see it, and then they go somewhere else and they see it, and then they see me in person and it's like, I know who you are, So
That's incredible.
That's a strategy right
Hell
there.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
What do you believe in, like guerrilla? Is it
Guerrilla marketing?
Guerrilla marketing?
Yeah.
Where it's like really heavy, really aggressive, throw it everywhere, throw it out there.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I haven't personally used it, but it works.
Maybe it depends on like
It depends on your audience.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think my audience would really like that, but it does work. And there's some great books that you can pick up that I'll probably share after this. I don't remember them off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But one of them is called Positioning. That one's really good. So marketing book, positioning.
I would love to
Hell
check
yeah,
that out.
check that out for
Placement,
sure.
positioning. I would love to check that out.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And I love how you put things like really simple
Yeah.
for finance and stuff. What are some tips that you can give to people that are looking to build credit or repair their credit?
Yeah. So, you know, like with anything, the more you know, the better you can play the game. So, like for instance, I like to call chess. I like to use credit like in the form of chess, basically. Like if you know how to move your pieces on the board and how they move, you can better play the game and you can be more likely to win. So, you know, everybody's heard the phrase cash is king. Well, I like to think credit as queen. And in a game of chess, the queen can make a lot more moves than the king can. So it can move from one end of the board to the other end of the board.
Interesting.
Whereas the king can only make small, very strategic moves to the left, right, or sideways and vice versa. The queen, however, if it dies, you can always get another one with the pawns. The king dies and you lose the game. Mm-hmm. So the moral of the story is, you know, go ahead and protect your cash at all times. And the queen, which is your credit, you can use that to do things that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to. You know? So, you know, I like to think that with anything, in this case credit, you want to know how it works. So your FICO score, for instance, a lot of people don't even know what that is. So you have what's called a credit report, and then you have what's called a credit score. Your credit report is what has all of your information, kind of like a report card. Whereas you might have your credit score, which is all of that information turned into a number. And think of it like almost as your SAT scores or your ACT scores. And they have various types of scores. The most common one is the FICO 8. That's the one that they use for mortgages, for cars, for everything. That is made up of 5 different parts. The biggest part is payment history, which is 35%. The second biggest part, utilization. So that's how much of your credit you're actually utilizing, how much you're using. So if you have a credit card that has $1,000 limit and you use $500 of that, well, now you're using 50% of that credit card. And depending on how many credit cards you have altogether, that particular amount is 30% of your score. You see?
Yep.
Now, then there's age of the cards, which is 15%. There's 10%, which is inquiries. And then there's 10%, which is credit mix. So credit mix is basically just like, you know, what types of accounts you have. So if you have like a loan or a student loan, also considered a promissory note, regular credit cards, or, you know, then there's also like regular loans as well, like car loans, auto loans, mortgages.
Okay.
So having that mix is what allows companies to see, okay, this person's responsible. They can have a fixed monthly payment, and they can have a variable payment on a credit card that might be $30 one month, $100 the next.
So you would say it's maybe beneficial to have a revolving credit card, another type of maybe like a loan that you're paying off, just different types of.
It's beneficial to have multiple types of credit because it shows them that you can juggle, basically. Now, if you're going ahead and you're looking to buy a home, for instance, and I'm not a mortgage loan officer, but I've dealt with enough of them to know that they're usually looking for at least 3 lines of revolving credit, and then they're looking for like maybe like 1 loan, things of that nature. And there's tools that will allow you to, you know, kind of amplify your score. Like they have those self-lender loans that help you get those fixed monthly payments in and also save at the same time, which is really cool because those didn't exist, you know, before I started this.
There's like credit builders.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I was looking into buying a house.
Yeah.
And I was trying to like figure out what else do I need to get my score higher than what it is. Not that my score is bad, but like I just want it to be higher. Yeah. You know, so that way it looks good and it's presentable to a realtor or a real estate agent You know what I mean?
Of course, and I'm proud of you for wanting to take that step. And you know, home ownership is one of the things that allowed me to do what I do today. My first house that I bought, I went ahead and bought it. It was I bought it foreclosed. I got it for $130,000.
Wow.
I had to put some work into it, but what I did is I bought a house with it was a FHA, which is a first time home buyer, with a 203K, which is the loan basically to repair the home built into the first loan.
Gotcha.
Spent about $50,000 repairing it, so I'm $180,000 in. Rented it because it was a multifamily, so I rented the house and also had my rooms that I rented. In my apartment, I had like 2 extra rooms. What did I do? I was single. I was good. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have my friends move in, pay me rent. I charged them a fixed amount. And while I was doing that, I actually helped them with their credit. One friend moved out, another one moved in. It almost became like a financial, you know, like fraternity.
Yeah,
over there.
like a house. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know, then eventually I decided to sell it right before COVID. Sold it for $310,000.
Equity.
And yeah.
Have you ever been into like a financial crisis where you knew how to bounce back?
Like if I've been through a situation where it was hard for me to
Like a downturn?
A hardship.
Yeah. I mean, there were times when I first started working in like this field, you know, I dove in literally. Like I had some money saved aside, but like I dove in and like there was a point where I wasn't making any money, you know, and thankfully, you know, like I had my reserves, which not everybody plans for, but like, you know, it's a situation where like, you know, if you don't want to really dig into your reserves, which was one of my things, it's like, how do I figure out how to make more money? And then also like, damn, if I can't pay this, what do I do to make sure that it doesn't affect me negatively? So like a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people I guess are afraid to, for instance, when they realize that they can't pay a bill, just call the company up and tell them, hey, listen, I'm having a hard financial time right now. Just lost my job. I'm over here trying to start up my own company and I can't pay this bill on time. Something as simple as that literally might get you a month or two to get yourself on track and them not mark you as late. Because once you get marked as late, that's it. There's no going back.
Yeah.
There's no going back. So
That makes sense.
yeah. So I mean that's kind of like the biggest situation I've had. Thankfully, you know, I'm, you know, I don't want to say that I'm a glorified financial master, but you know, it was difficult at one point, but you know, thankfully I got through it. And it was more about perseverance.
It takes discipline.
And not being afraid or ashamed to, you know, ask for help when you need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of us, I know, trust me, I had situations where I was like, damn, you know, I'm not going to ask, like, obviously don't ask family to borrow money, not ask friends to borrow money, you know, like, so it's like, who else can I reach out to? Talk to the company. You know, they understand it. Although they're machines that, I guess the machine doesn't really care about the people that work within the machine are people just like you and me. So,
Yeah,
dope.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So one thing I run into a lot, people in my age group,
yeah.
definitely they forget how important it is to have a savings and save for the future, retirement.
Yeah.
What are some recommendations to that regard? A lot of people don't have a savings. I think I was reading a stat.
Yeah.
Recently,
Well, you know why that is?
Why is that?
It's because a lot of people don't budget either. So, you know, like a lot of people are going and, you know, they're buying this, they're buying that, but they're not keeping track of any of that. So, like, how are you going to save if you don't even know how much money's coming in and how much money's coming out each month? If you don't know that, that's the first step. You got to start budgeting. And if you know, okay, if you know exactly what is coming in and coming out each month, it is a lot easier to save because you can say, you know, all right, all my bills are paid. This is how much money I have left over. Out of that money that I have left over, I want to spend this much and have some fun. And then the other amount, I want to save. And I know it sounds like super simple the way I explain it, but like,
It takes discipline because
Yeah.
you see that shiny new pair of shoes.
oh, it's super hard, bro. Like, it's like, oh man. And it's like, and then you spend it, and then you don't have no savings.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for music equipment. I'm a
Yeah.
musician.
Well,
as
that's
you
your
know.
passion.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that's your
bro! I
passion.
see a shiny new pedal or guitar or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I gotta have that.
Man, sometimes I have to like delete the Amazon app from my phone.
Oh,
because
my
I'm
God, that
always
is
like
a
looking for stuff, even
good
though I don't need
shit.
it. I'm looking on Amazon to see what else I could buy. And like it's like I just bought like another vacuum robot to go in my house, even though I had one. Like it's like, why did I do that? But
Yeah.
They give you recommendations,
Oh, of
and now
course they
there's
do.
Temu now to throw in the
Yeah,
mix and
Temu,
Shane
yeah.
and all these.
and all those I mean a lot of people I've met recently are getting in trouble with those pay later, buy now, pay later programs.
yeah,
So like those are cool if you're making sure that you can actually afford
Budget
the
for
things that exactly, because then that second payment comes in and you don't got it, and it's like you should have kept that money aside so
Yep.
that
Right.
because it's about buying it now and paying it later. It's, you still got to have the money. You don't want to buy something you can't afford.
that can really damage your credit too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I've
they'll
seen that happen.
report you.
What are some key elements to start a business?
To start a business, I mean, the first thing you'd want to do is your research, like with anything. Obviously, one of the biggest things that I always recommend is having your finances in order first, because you are not going to be able to handle business finances if you can't handle your own finances. There are some people that get away with it, but let me tell you, most of those people either have a partner that's really good with finances and they take care of it, or they have then somebody else do it for them. Otherwise, it's very hard to be successful in a business if you don't have your shit together personally.
100% agree. You can't run a business like your house, man.
Yeah.
My gosh. So give me a number. So like if I'm making, well, I won't say it that way. What's a percentage of my income that I should be saving that I could kind of say?
I mean, it's different for everybody. I like to say everybody's finances are unique. And the reason why is because not everybody's not making the same money. And you're like, if I say a percentage, like that might not be enough to cover your expenses, you know? So like if you have a specific amount of expenses and I tell you 10% is a good savings amount and you're over here struggling to save 10% and then not be able to pay your bills, then it's of no use to you. You know, you're just going to hate savings, and you're going to, in your mind, you're going to make, it's all about mindset too. You're going to have a negative correlation with savings, and you're not going to do it. You're going to hate it. And like, what the should I save for? You know?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, it's one of those things that we'd have to kind of look at and do an analysis and then say, okay, this is the right amount for you, maybe starting off, and then maybe increasing it as you go. Just like with investing or doing things with your IRA or 401k, you know, some people want to max it out at the 5% initially, but then they don't have enough on their paycheck. And like, yeah, great, you have a lot going into your 401k, but like you're struggling to pay your regular bills. Like, no, you don't. You know, I understand you want a retirement account, but you know, if you can't keep a job, you know, you're not gonna have.
Exactly.
You're not gonna have that worth. You know,
Exactly.
you next thing you know, you lose your card. Next thing you know, you can't go to work. It's a
It has to make sense with what
it's
you
a
have.
cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about percentages earlier. How 66% of people live paycheck to paycheck.
At the moment.
Do you believe that's like accurate?
Yeah, I believe more people than that
Wow.
are paycheck to paycheck. Like right now in Providence, at least, I don't even know how people are surviving. Like their utility, I seen a person post on Facebook.
That scares me,
utility
man.
bills. Like they're getting $300 electric bills, $600 gas bills. Like it's like, okay, that's $900.
Excessive.
Like, how much are they making? I hope they have a good job, because like, if they're making minimum wage, you know, and this is people who are renting. Imagine people that own their home, have a
Right.
mortgage, have
Right.
this and that, have to repair things inside. Like,
I've heard this back and forth a lot
Yeah.
between renters and homeowners.
yeah,
What are the pros and cons? Is it one of those things where it depends on the situation of the person? Is it better to rent? Is it better to home own? What do you think? What are
yeah.
your
I mean,
thoughts?
it always depends on the situation of the person. Like I said, just like with that, everything's unique to the person. And the reason why is because like you might go ahead and be renting right now, and it's great for you to rent. You might have a really good locked in price at rent. You know, like I know people who like are maybe paying like $500 right now, for example, in rent, and those prices don't exist anymore. So like, you know, for them, it's good to be paying $500 in rent. Not only to save, but also if they're okay with renting and not having to deal with like maintenance on a home, because when you're a homeowner, that is one of the things you have to worry about. If your roof starts deteriorating, you need to fix it. If your, you know, water line breaks, you need to fix it. Like that's your home,
Right.
It's your
you know,
responsibility.
if you're renting, that's the other person's responsibility that you're renting from, and that's why they charge you that rent, because so hopefully they're making an income off of that rent. That's the idea, at least.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are some financial gurus that kind of inspire you? Do you listen to Dave Ramsey?
Dave Ramsey's big. I don't really like some of the things he says.
Tell me. Let me pick your brain about that.
He loves
Tell
Dave
me.
Ramsey.
I
mean,
do.
Dave
No,
Ramsey's
but
great.
I get like a lot of like mixed reviews about him, so I
Yeah.
don't like totally fuck with him. But
I mean, he's all cash guy. Like he doesn't believe in people using credit, this, that, and
Yeah,
that.
like cut
So
your
I
credit
disagree
cards
with
and
him on that.
Okay.
Credit is how a lot of the richest people in this world are rich. You know, and he lives and dies to tell you that no, you shouldn't use the credit card. But a lot of people don't have enough money to go buy a car cash, my guy. Like he's thinking like people with his kind of money. He's thinking with his pockets. And one of the things that I don't like about that is that, you know, exactly that. Like I don't put my pockets on anybody. You know, I always ask people what their situation is and what, you know, what it is. And then I put myself in their shoes basically so that I can give them a better, you know, experience when I'm consulting them. Me telling you that, you know, you shouldn't get a credit card and you should chop them all up and save and then buy a house cash. Like, you know, like, all right, Dave Ramsey, like you're great. Like you have a lot of amazing information that you help people, you know, like budget, learn about,
discipline. I feel like you get a lot of rigidity.
I mean, he has a good idea behind why not to use credit cards. I get it. But if you're using a credit card and you're paying it like how you should be, you're not going to get in debt. And you're not going to have that crazy, huge situation that he usually talks about with people, you know, having huge amounts of debt. So, yeah.
That's true. Who are some other financial gurus you like?
I like I forget his Instagram handle, but it's like I think it's Method Investor, something like that.
Okay.
So he's good.
Investor, okay.
And then, you know, I personally I go through, you know, some of the books, some of the classics like Warren Buffett, things of that
Warren
nature.
Buffett,
So.
yeah. What is the name of that guy? Live your best rich life or live your own rich life. What is it? I'm gonna look him up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look him up real quick. Live your best life or live your rich life your own way. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro.
That happens to me all the time. It's gonna be bothering you if you don't look it up.
Yeah,
So-
like I have to absolutely look this guy up now.
When you had your security guard,
Yeah.
while you looking at
Yeah.
while you had your security guard business, how did you figure out like what you should charge, like the fee that you should charge your clients?
market research. So you have to do like, you know, an analysis of the market, see what other people are charging. I would go and get quotes from like other security companies just to kind of get an idea. One of the things I noticed though when I was getting quotes was that I didn't really like the way that other security companies were doing it. They were very secretive about their pricing. And that was one of the first things I did when I came up with the company. I made our pricing readily available right on our website. And that's why a lot of people actually contacted us and were like, you know, I love that you are very clear about your pricing, very transparent, and that it's right available on your website. I don't have to click, get a quote, and have somebody call me to, you know, get my pricing.
Right.
Like it's right there, it's transparent, it's clear. I know a lot of reasons. I know why they do it. You know, it's for, you know, going ahead and having that conversation directly with a client. Sometimes they price gouge other clients depending on like what the situation is and how big their pockets are. And then also, you know, it keeps your competitors from knowing what your pricing
It's
is.
funny because I used to work at a funeral home and they used to do that same technique.
It's a strategy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you end up finding it?
Ramit.
Ramen?
Yeah, have you heard of him?
Ramen.
Let me show you who I'm talking about. Let me show you who I'm talking about. This guy.
If rotated and then it disappeared.
Oh, did.
This guy that doesn't
This
exist.
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I don't
There-
know who that is.
So he has a cool. He critiques Dave Ramsey a lot.
Oh, okay.
But he has a really cool.
I might like him then.
He has a really
I'll have to
cool.
check him out.
Yeah. I'll send you his stuff. His take is more like he kind of dumbifies it a little bit for
Yeah.
people who have really complicated situations. And he wrote a book as well. You know, he has a lot of. He has a
Simplify
whole
it.
thing. Yeah, you know, he simplifies it. I should say, yeah, definitely simplifies it. He has a whole thing on Netflix where he.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he has a whole like season and episodes and stuff where
That's
he goes
great.
to people's
That's huge.
homes and you know what I mean. Yeah. So he's really good. I like him too. But I like Dave Ramsey. It's kind of like you kind of have to have a little bit of both.
One of the things I say is that you can take a little piece of everybody's pie, and that's what makes you who you are. You know, like I'm not, like I can't say that there's one book that has specifically made me successful. I can't say that. It's a little bit of everything that I've read. So
I like that. What are some books you're reading right now?
I was just gonna ask.
right now, it's been a little difficult with a child being born. So
Yeah.
most of the books I've been
Parenting
reading,
101.
so most of the books I've been reading have been like little kids books, like like just keeping them entertained and active, trying to get his mind right at an early age. But yeah, I mean, one of the last books I read was what is that? I can't even think of it right now. So I apologize.
Screenshot
Okay,
picture.
bro.
put it
Yeah,
in there,
I'll send
edit.
it to you
Yeah,
later.
all that, Yeah.
But mostly I've been doing like audio books.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
What do you think sets you apart from other financial consultants, financial advisors?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a financial consultant or advisor per se.
Okay.
Although at one point I had been, I used to work for Merrill Lynch. But now I'm more of like a financial coach, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Where I'm going ahead and, I'm helping people with their finances, helping people with things like that. What sets me apart, I mean, I'm real and I actually care. So like, I don't have to do this if I don't want to.
Right.
I do this because I enjoy doing it.
Like that.
So, I have a supermarket in Dominican Republic.
Oh wow.
So, like I have other means.
I knew it. Yeah, I think I saw something you posted about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I'm also working on some other things. One of the things I have as a project that's taken me a little bit longer than what I had expected, but it's going to be huge once it pops up. It's called Privilege, and it's actually a tequila that I'm working on.
Okay.
What?
You gotta try
Privileged
that.
tequila. Oh yeah, we tried
We
that.
privileged to
bro.
try that
What?
tequila. How'd you come up with that name for that?
I honestly was gonna call it Providence Privilege originally, and then
That would've been so
when I went ahead and was going ahead and like trademarking everything and making sure that it was good to go as far as getting my mark. Providence, I couldn't trademark that part of it because it's owned by like a wine company.
Oh,
So long story short, I went back and forth with them, and rather than resubmitting my application to the United States
The
patent,
patent, yeah.
I was like, can I just drop the Providence and make it implied by where it's made, where it's like originated from? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, we'll call it Privilege. And then I was like, that's actually better because now I don't have to like limit it to this geographic area,
Right.
And it's something that I can, who doesn't want to say they're drinking privilege?
I like that. Yo, I
Sounds
had some
fire.
privilege. Yo, let me get a shot of privilege.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
That's funny.
The taste of prosperity. That should be your slogan.
yeah.
Did you have to
The privilege you can taste is what I put as.
Oh,
Yo, I
I like
love
that. I like that.
And I thought of doing some like comical things, like like as far as like white privilege and
Yeah,
things
Oh,
like that,
okay.
that will really get the people going.
yes, yes,
It's
yes.
provocative.
Yeah, exactly. Marketing, bro.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. Did you have to like taste different, like to
So
come
yeah,
up with yours?
that's still one of the parts I have to do.
Okay.
So I have to take a trip to Mexico very soon. I don't know if you guys are aware, but if you're making a tequila, it could only be made in Mexico. The reason why is because tequila is basically patented to Mexico. Just like cognac is to France, or like champagne is to France. If it's not made there, it's not called cognac. It's not called champagne. If it's made somewhere else, it's called sparkling water. Cognac
funny.
is called, I think, whiskey or something like that. Or yeah,
That's interesting.
I didn't know that.
Me
Look
neither.
at that.
and
The more you-
tequila is called agave liquor.
Okay.
Because it's made from the agave plant.
Okay.
If it's made anywhere besides Mexico, it's called agave liquor. I had thought about maybe making it in Dominican Republic because it'd be easier for me to kind of get some things, but I think I'm gonna keep it in Mexico initially at least, and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so you have like someone that grows, or a farm, or how
What,
does
in the
that work?
Dominican Republic?
No, in Mexico.
Well, no, there would be a distillery there
That's
that
what I was
is already
asking, okay.
established. And yeah, obviously they have like agave plants that they would get the, substance from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's amazing, bro.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Bro. We should do a tequila, bro.
Nah.
Yeah, I
DNA
mean,
tequila.
You think so?
I already know how to start it, so if you have any questions, let me know.
E&A tequila.
DNA tequila.
EA tequila.
Yo,
That's
never
funny.
know.
You never know.
Right.
Make it a thing on the show.
It's not
you know.
impossible.
Right.
The most you'd have to spend is probably on marketing.
That's true.
The liquor will make its money back.
Right.
Who else has a tequila? LeBron, right? LeBron. What does he?
Oh,
have?
they almost all have something
They have
now.
like their
yeah.
own.
Michael Jordan has a tequila.
Yeah.
What's this? That guy from Boston that's an actor.
Mark Wahlberg.
He has his own tequila now too.
I hate Wahlburgers, but his tequila's probably good.
Yo, why do you hate Wahlburg?
Bro, it's just like I've never had a good experience. I'm sorry.
Every time we see that
Bro, every
freaking
time
restaurant
we go
at
to
the airport,
or something, we see it, the sign. Bro, it's garbage, bro. Don't go to
Oh,
Wahlburger.
no,
I'm
that's
sorry.
terrible.
I'm sorry. It's just not. I've not had a good
Yeah.
experience. I'm willing to give it another shot. It's just I don't know.
the privilege shot.
You know, it's just
Hey.
I feel like a privilege shot.
Yeah, literally.
I just feel like there's so many other burgers. I'm a burger guy. I love
Yeah.
burger. I love pizza, but I love burgers too. A
I
really
love
good
pizza.
burger, like artisan burgers.
Yeah.
Like BBC Burger, Boston Burger Company.
Haven't tried that.
Very, very good.
I'm gonna have to go on a burger run with you one of these days.
Yeah,
go.
this guy's the guy, bro.
Listen,
Let's
He
go.
loves trying different places.
I love it. I love.
I
different
be doing
burgers.
reviews sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we
Oh,
doing
okay.
reviews
You definitely
sometimes.
got to go there to
Yeah.
BBC.
I'm down.
Talking about pizza real quick. What's a good pizza spot out here in Providence?
In Providence, I mean, I like Fellini's the best.
Okay.
Where are they?
In Providence. I forget exactly what the address is, but I have a terrible sense of direction. I'll be real with you right now. I put my GPS on for everything. So like where I'm good at a lot of things, I can honestly say my sense of direction is that's where I did not get blessed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Fellini's is really good. Big Tony's Pizzeria.
Big Tony's.
Big Tony's.
Home of
really-
the gangster rap.
Home of the gangster raps. Good friend of mine actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Ruanas are there. Yeah, so the Ruanas are really awesome.
Yeah.
They actually taught me a lot about some of the businesses because they do a lot of things themselves.
Wow.
They have auto body, laundromats, gas stations, pizzerias. Yeah.
That's crazy. This guy always takes a dump on like pizza from New York.
Bro,
He
I don't
hates
know.
it.
I've not had a good New York pizza. bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I was born in New York, so
What
What
part?
part?
Yeah.
Bronx.
Oh man, see?
Typical.
My family's from the Bronx too.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, most Dominicans.
Yeah. I'm Puerto Rican, but like there's so many Dominicans out there
Yeah,
as
Dominicans,
well.
Puerto Ricans. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of Latinos in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We just met who else from the Conguero from Mark Anthony?
Eric
Velez.
Eric Velez.
Shout out Eric
Okay.
Velez.
Yeah, the
Hey,
percussionist from Mark
Yeah.
Anthony.
He's from there.
So from
a lot
the
of the
Bronx.
guys from the band are from there, actually.
Yeah.
From there,
New
from
York.
New York. Puerto Rican. New Yorkican.
Yeah, that's what he
As he
considered
called it.
himself.
Yeah, that's
New
a
York
thing,
Rican.
literally.
Yeah, he considered himself that. It's funny.
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
like category.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, I don't know if I asked you this already. What does financial health mean to you?
Financial health. I mean, it means being able to pay all your bills and be good and have money left over. I like to call, there's three things. The three freedoms is what I call them. And it's, for me, financial freedom, which means not having to worry about how you're going to pay your bills. Location freedom, which for me means being able to work from wherever the hell I want. and time freedom, being able to work whenever I want. So
I love that. I love that.
That's dope.
I might have to pick up some of your books, bro.
for sure, man.
Definitely.
They're
I'm gonna
all
check that
available
out.
on Amazon. You can get them on the Apple Store. You can get them in Walmart, Target, you name it.
Hell yeah. And what was that first book that you mentioned?
Learn, right?
It was
Learn.
Earn, drop the L and earn.
And earn.
there was another one, Positioning or Position.
Oh, positioning is the marketing book that I would recommend.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap into that as well,
Yeah.
bro.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We gotta set ourselves up for 2025. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, because we're trying to expand the brand, you know?
Yeah.
You definitely can. A lot of the things I learned in positioning, I use to this day. So it's about not putting yourself. It's like putting yourself in the mind of the customer. You know, where you're always there. You know.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I'm definitely
That's
tap
a great
into that.
concept. Yeah, we should definitely.
I mean, there's people that see me, like I don't have a pizzeria, but there's people that see me and think of pizza. Why? Because I like pizza, and you know, they always like somebody got me this beanie right here. You know, they always getting me like pizza stuff
Okay.
because like they think of pizza or they see something about pizza related and they think of me, or they vice versa.
Why
or
do
they
you think
see
that
me
is?
and then
Why do you think people think that of you?
because it's how you're positioning yourself in their mind. So,
Oh, okay.
you know, like people see me posting about pizza and their automatic thought is like, wow, this guy really loves pizza.
Yeah.
So like now when they see pizza, they're like, oh, Carlos would love this. And then that's how it works. Now when people see like stuff about credit, like people were saying like, oh, your son's going to have an 850 credit score as soon as he's born. Why? Because they see me always talking about credit.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm positioned in their mind as somebody who is a credit expert. And yeah.
That's you for me. You're not the pizza guy. You're the credit guy for me.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because you haven't really
The money
seen that
guy.
side of me.
Right.
But,
Right.
but that's where I'm positioned in your mind.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to that.
Exactly.
That's crazy. I like that strategy you said earlier. You had your profile picture for 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody knew your face.
Yeah. I mean,
That's-
it works. It works, man. Like, same picture everywhere,
Yeah.
across the board.
I'm surprised I haven't seen you on the billboards, bro. On the highways, you know what I mean?
I mean, I could be. Who knows? Maybe I'm
Right.
working on
your
it.
tequila, privilege.
Maybe it'll pop
That'd
up
be
somewhere.
dope. One day we're gonna be
We
driving.
drive, you see? That'd be dope as hell.
Privilege tequila, Mr. Tan right there. Con una botella.
Who knows? Maybe I'll have somebody else be the face of it, though.
Right.
Oh, okay. Is
That's
there
a
a
strategy as well, huh?
Is there a logo for it yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It already exists.
Okay.
Nice. When you
Not now.
when
It's
you want to
not.
launch it?
I mean, I was supposed to launch it a while ago, so it's something that's been taking me a while, but it's a project that's already been started. I'm not gonna stop until it's finished.
Right.
Gotcha.
Love it,
Gotcha.
bro.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. No, it's been really insightful to have you, bro. It's
Yeah,
been
I mean, it's
a
insightful
pleasure
to
being
have
here.
you.
No, absolutely.
you guys.
You definitely schooled us, man, on a lot of things. You know, marketing, finances. You know,
Opening up business.
yeah. I think the audience is gonna love this.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think, pun intended, that I'm a wealth of knowledge, and I literally make it my job. Like, if I don't know something, I make it my job to find out.
To learn, yeah.
So, like, it's, and people pay me for it. So,
Right.
it
It's
feels
a
good.
win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely, you'll be hearing about me for a consult, bro. Absolutely. We
yeah,
gotta
for
sit
sure,
down,
man. I'll help you out.
Oh,
crunch
yeah,
some
me too.
numbers. Yeah.
And obviously your audience too. If anybody wants to, get
Oh,
a consult,
absolutely. Yeah.
I'll be happy to give anybody who reaches out a 25% off. So,
Oh, okay.
just gotta
Wow.
mention your name.
Yeah.
Hell
Wow.
yeah.
That would be great.
Hell yeah.
That would be great.
Y'all heard it.
Take advantage. He's the financial guru right here. This guy.
I don't like to call myself a guru, but I'll take the compliment.
Yes.
Now we appreciate your time, man. Thank you for coming out here. Thank you for everything that you bring to the table to Rhode Island, not only to Rhode Island but to your country, DR as well. Very inspiring. Very inspiring. I never met you, but he always spoke highly of you.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we should get him on an episode. I was like, yeah, let's see what he's about. And I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate you coming.
Yeah, of course, man. It's what I do literally. So, the more people that look like me that I can inspire to, do great things, I'm doing my job. And what does that do? That makes me more successful too. Because if I'm going ahead and I'm making the next, Bill Gates or
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Come on.
100%.
Come on.
I love that.
Right.
I love that.
Oh yeah. You already know.
Everything, anything podcast.
TNA Pod. We out.
We out.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes. Sir.